A single father, a highway turning into a black river, an old stranger clutching a briefcase like it was the last sacred thing left. What Logan discovered on Route 42 that night wasn't just a stranded man. It was the start of a reckoning someone had postponed for decades. It was a calculated plan to save an empire and ruin a man. Without fingerprints, without guilt, without mercy. A plan that would have worked if Logan hadn't braked on instinct and put his daughter in the crosshairs of a war nobody on the factory floor knew existed. The rain didn't fall, it attacked. Route 42 outside Riverside, Ohio turned into a black river under Logan Hayes' headlights. His '09 Honda shuddered against the wind, wipers screaming across glass that fogged faster than the busted defroster could clear. He squinted through the blur, knuckles white on the wheel, jaw tight. 43 years old. 15 years at Ridgeway Textile Works. 1 daughter. 0 backup plan. The radio crackled with static, then a voice. Severe weather warning extended through midnight. Logan snapped it off. He didn't need a warning. He needed a miracle. Because tomorrow morning, Blake Stanton, the new regional manager with a razor smile and the spreadsheet heart, was calling a restructuring meeting. Everyone knew what that meant. Logan had watched good people, loyal people, get escorted out with cardboard boxes while Blake checked his phone. Logan's mind ran the math it always ran. Lily's asthma meds, the overdue electric bill, the school supplies he'd been stretching for 3 months. If he lost this job, they'd lose the apartment in 60 days. He blinked hard, focused on the road. That's when he saw him. A figure on the shoulder, hunched against the storm. Older man, maybe 70, walking slow, no umbrella, no car nearby. Just a dark coat plastered to his frame and something clutched tight to his chest. A leather briefcase, brown and battered, held like it contained the last piece of something sacred. Logan's foot hovered over the gas. Not your problem. You've got enough. But the man stumbled. One hand braced against a fence post, the other still protecting that briefcase. Rain hammered his silver hair flat. Logan cursed under his breath and hit the brakes. The Honda skidded to a stop 10 feet ahead. Logan threw it in park, popped the door, and jogged back through the downpour. "Sir, you need a ride?" The man looked up. Weathered face, sharp eyes behind rain-streaked glasses, exhaustion carved deep into every line. He didn't answer right away, just studied Logan like he was deciding something important. "I don't want to impose," the man said finally. His voice was quiet, educated, but frayed at the edges. "You're gonna catch pneumonia out here. Come on." The man hesitated. His grip on the briefcase tightened. "I have somewhere I need to be," he said carefully. "It's not far, but it's specific. Anywhere's better than drowning on Route 42. Get in." Logan opened the passenger door. The man climbed in slowly, briefcase on his lap, both hands wrapped around the handle like it might try to escape. Water dripped from his coat onto the floor mat. Logan slid back behind the wheel, cranked the heat, and pulled onto the road. "Name's Logan," he said. "Henry." A pause. "Thank you." The silence stretched. Logan glanced sideways. Henry sat rigid, staring straight ahead, one thumb rubbing the briefcase's brass lock in slow circles. "You okay?" Logan asked. "I'm fine. You don't look fine." Henry's jaw tightened. "I made a mistake tonight. A long time ago, actually. I'm trying to fix it." "What kind of mistake?" "The kind that costs people everything." Logan didn't push. He knew that tone. He'd used it himself when Lily asked why Mommy left. But something about Henry felt wrong, not dangerous. Just off. The way he held that briefcase. The way his eyes kept flicking to the rearview mirror like someone might be following. "Where you headed?" Logan asked. Henry hesitated again. "Ridgeway Textile Works?" Logan's hands jerked on the wheel. "What?" "The factory, on Industrial Drive. I work there." "What do you?" "I just need to go to the gate," Henry said quickly. That's all. Drop me at the gate. It's 11 at night, in a storm. Nobody's there. Someone will be? Logan's pulse kicked. Who are you? Henry turned to face him for the first time. And in his eyes, deep, tired, haunted, Logan saw something he recognized. Regret. Someone who should have cared more, Henry said softly. And didn't. The question hung between them like smoke. Would you stop for a stranger in a storm if it could cost you everything? They drove in silence for 2 miles. Rain hammered the roof. The heater rattled. Henry's breathing was shallow, uneven. Logan broke first. You know Blake Stanton? Henry's expression darkened. I know of him. Then you know he's gutting the place. Tomorrow morning, half the floor is getting cut. People who've been there 20 years, single moms, guys with sick kids. Logan's voice cracked. And I'm probably one of them. Henry looked down at the briefcase. You have a family? Daughter, Lily, 9 years old, smart as hell. Loves drawing, hates math, thinks I'm a superhero. Logan laughed bitterly. She's gonna find out I'm not. Why do you think that? Because I can't protect her from this. I can't fix it. I just show up, do the work, keep my head down, and pray it's enough. But it's never enough for guys like Blake. Henry was quiet for a long moment. I knew someone like you once, he said finally. Worked for me. Good man. Honest. Struggled every day to take care of his son after his wife died. And he stopped, swallowed hard. I fired him. Because the numbers said I should. Logan glanced over. What happened to him? I don't know. I never asked. Henry's voice dropped to a whisper. I never even learned his name. The weight of those words hung between them like smoke. That's what's in the briefcase? Logan asked. Names? Henry smiled faintly. No, this is proof. Stock certificates. Original incorporation documents. Things Blake doesn't know exist. He looked at Logan. I signed away majority control 6 years ago. Thought I was done. But I kept the originals, just in case. Logan's heart thudded. Why tonight? Because I'm dying. Heart failure. 6 months left, maybe less. And I heard what Blake was planning. Henry's eyes locked onto his. I can't undo 30 years of being him. But I can stop him from doing it to you. Logan didn't know what to say. The factory loomed ahead, dark silhouette against darker sky. Chain-link fence crowned with rusted barbed wire. The security booth a dim yellow square of light. Here, Henry said. This is where I need to be. Logan pulled up to the gate. A guard, Tommy, mid-50s, decent guy, stepped out with a flashlight. Logan rolled down the window. Hey Tommy, this man needs. Tommy's flashlight beam hit Henry's face, and Tommy went still. Mr. Whitaker, Tommy said quietly. Logan's brain stuttered. Whitaker? Henry nodded. Hello, Thomas. I need access to the archives. Tonight. Tommy unlocked the gate without another word. Swung it wide. Henry turned to Logan. Thank you. For the ride. For listening. He gripped Logan's shoulder once. Firm, warm, real. You're a good father. Don't forget that. Wait, who are you? But Henry was already out of the car, briefcase clutched tight, walking through the gate into the rain-soaked factory yard like he'd built it with his own hands. Because Logan realized with cold shock he had, if you believe one decent choice can matter more than any paycheck, hit like right now. And if you're new here, subscribe for emotional stories about courage, impossible choices, and second chances, because tomorrow, Logan will find out what that briefcase was really for. Henry Whitaker, founder, the man who built Ridgeway Textile Works 40 years ago and supposedly retired to Florida in 2019. What the hell is he doing here? Tommy closed the gate, looked at Logan, said nothing. Logan sat there, engine idling, rain drumming, mind spinning. He didn't sleep that night. Logan pulled into the Ridgeway parking lot at 7:42 a.m. and immediately knew something was wrong. 3 black SUVs lined the curb near the executive entrance. Security guards he'd never seen before stood at the main doors, earpieces, stone faces, hands crossed like they were guarding a president. Sofia Martinez intercepted him before he reached the building. Her eyes were red. "Don't go in there acting brave," she whispered. Blake brought corporate lawyers and cops. I heard him tell HR that anyone who disrupts the meeting gets escorted out in cuffs. Logan's stomach dropped. Cuffs? He's not playing, Logan. He wants blood. She gripped his arm. If you say one word in there, you're done. He'll make an example of you. Logan looked at the guards, at the SUVs, at the factory he'd given 15 years of his life to. Then I guess I better make it count, he said. Sophia's face crumpled. Please don't. But Logan was already walking toward the doors. The guards didn't stop him. They just watched, like wolves waiting for the right moment. Logan barely touched his coffee that morning. He sat at the kitchen table before dawn, staring at nothing, replaying Henry's words. I can stop him from doing it to you. Lily shuffled out in her pajamas at 6:47 a.m., rubbing her eyes. You okay, Dad? Logan forced a smile. Yeah, kiddo. Just thinking. About work? Always about work. She poured herself cereal. You're the best worker there. They won't fire you. God, he loved her. And God, he hoped she was right. He wasn't. The meeting room at Ridgeway was packed by 8 a.m. 43 people crammed into a space. Meant for 20, standing room only, tension thick enough to choke on. Blake Stanton stood at the front in a charcoal suit that cost more than Logan's car, arms crossed, expression bored. 2 uniformed police officers flanked the door. Let's make this quick, Blake said. The company's restructuring. We're cutting redundancies. If your name's on the list, you're done today. Security will walk you out. No preamble. No thank you. No humanity. He read names like a grocery list. Hayes, Logan. Logan's stomach dropped. Martinez, Sophia, Chun, David, Thompson, Rebecca. 15 names. 15 families. 15 lives appended in 90 seconds. Sophia, single mom, 2 kids, started crying. David slumped against the wall. Rebecca just stared at Blake like she couldn't believe he was real. Blake folded the paper. That's it. The rest of you, get back to work. Dismissed. Someone shouted, This is bullshit. Blake turned slowly. You want to argue? He gestured to the officers. I've got all day. The room went silent. Logan's hands clenched. 15 years. 15 years of showing up early, staying late, covering shifts, training new hires. And this was it. A name on a list. 30 seconds of Blake's time, he stood. We deserved better than this. Blake smiled. You deserved what the market values you at, which is nothing. The officers shifted, hands near their belts. And then the door opened. Henry Whitaker walked in. Not the rain-soaked stranger from last night. This Henry stood tall, shoulders back, gray suit impeccable, briefcase in one hand. His eyes swept the room, sharp, cold, calculating. Then they landed on Blake. Stanton, Henry said quietly. Blake froze. Who? Henry Whitaker. Founder. Former majority shareholder. Henry set the briefcase on the table with a thunk. I'm calling an emergency board meeting, as is my right under the original charter. Blake's jaw tightened. You have no authority here. I have enough. Check your bylaws. Any founder with 10% equity can trigger a review of executive decisions within 72 hours of a major workforce. Action. Henry clicked open the briefcase, pulled out yellowed documents. I still hold 12%. Never sold it. Just let you think I did. The room erupted in whispers. Blake's face drained of color. You can't stop this, Blake said. The board already approved. The board approved your projections, which were based on falsified efficiency reports. Henry slid a folder across the table. I spent last night in the archives. Found the real numbers. Productivity's up 18%. Waste is down. You lied to justify cuts so you could pocket the savings as performance bonuses. Blake grabbed the folder, flipped through it. His hands shook. This is documented, time-stamped, verified. Henry's voice was ice. The board meets Friday. Until then, these layoffs are suspended pending review. Blake slammed the folder down. You think you can waltz in after 6 years and... I just did. Henry turned to the room. Everyone on that list, you're still employed. Report to your shifts. This isn't over, but you're not done. Sophia burst into tears, relief this time. David exhaled hard. Rebecca wiped her eyes. But Logan just stared at Blake, because Blake wasn't panicking. He was smiling. Fine, Blake said softly. You want a war, old man? You've got one. He walked out. Calm, controlled, and Logan's stomach turned. Because Blake Stanton didn't lose, he pivoted. Logan found Henry in the executive office an hour later. The old man sat slumped in the leather chair, pale, one hand pressed to his chest. You all right? Logan asked. No. Henry's breathing was labored. But I bought us 3 days, maybe 4. What happens Friday? Blake will have his own evidence. His own narrative. He'll say I'm senile, emotional, clinging to the past. Henry closed his eyes. And he might be right. You saved 15 families today. For now. Logan sat across from him. Why'd you really come back? Henry pulled a photograph from his wallet, old, creased, faded. A young man, maybe 25, holding a guitar. Smiling. My son, Henry said. Caleb. Where is he? I don't know. I drove him away. 30 years ago. Henry's voice cracked. He wanted to be a musician. I wanted him to run the business. We fought. I said things I could never take back. He left, and he closed his eyes. I let him go. Because I was too proud to admit I was wrong. Logan's throat tightened. I built this place thinking legacy was about buildings and balance sheets. Henry continued, but it's not. It's about people, and I failed them. Blake Stanton is what I was. That's why I have to stop him. Logan was about to respond when his phone buzzed. Text from Sophia. Check your email. Now, he opened it. His blood went cold. What? Henry asked. Logan turned the phone. Showed him. An email from Blake, sent to all employees. Subject line, the truth about Henry Whitaker. The body was a single attached. PDF, financial records showing massive loans taken out under Henry's name 8 months ago. $30 million. Secured against the factory's machinery. Current status, 60 days delinquent. If these loans default, Logan read aloud, the bank seizes everything. We're bankrupt by March. Henry stared at the screen. I never took out those loans. Can you prove it? Not in 3 days. Blake's move was brilliant. He'd boxed Henry in. Fight the layoffs and the company collapses from debt. Let the layoffs happen and Henry's intervention meant nothing. Either way, Blake won. Logan's phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. Mr. Hayes? A woman's voice. Professional. Cold. This is Agent Sarah Chun. FBI Financial Crimes Unit. We need to speak with you about Henry Whitaker and potential wire fraud. Can you come to our office this afternoon? Logan's heart stopped. Wire fraud? Someone transferred $43 million from an offshore account registered to Mr. Whitaker last night. Paid-off loans we're now investigating as fraudulent. We have reason to believe you facilitated that transfer. The line went dead. Logan looked at Henry. What did you do? Henry's face was gray. I tried to fix it. You paid off fake loans with your own money? That doesn't prove they're fake. It just makes you look guilty. I didn't have time to. You should have called a lawyer. Should have waited. Now Blake's going to the press saying you're broke and under investigation, and the FBI thinks I helped you commit fraud. Logan's voice cracked. I could lose Lily. Do you understand? Child Services will. I'm sorry. Henry's voice was barely a whisper. I thought I was protecting you. You weren't. Logan left the factory at 2 p.m. and drove straight to Lily's school. His hands shook on the wheel. He parked across the street and waited. Watched the doors. Scanned the parking lot for unfamiliar cars, black sedans, anyone who looked official. Nothing. Yet. When Lily came out at 3:15, backpack bouncing, he felt something crack inside his chest. She spotted the Honda and ran over, climbing in with her usual grin. Hey Dad, guess what? I got an A on my science project. That's great, kiddo. His voice sounded hollow even to himself. She frowned. You okay? Yeah, just a long day. They drove in silence for 2 blocks. Then Lily started wheezing, soft at first, then sharper. Lily? She dug through her backpack. Panic flashed across her face. I forgot my inhaler. Logan's stomach dropped. He pulled over, popped the glove box, grabbed the emergency one he always kept there, handed it to her. She took 2 puffs, breathed, steadied. Thanks, Dad. He looked at her, 9 years old, glasses crooked, hair in a messy ponytail, completely dependent on him for everything. And he realized if the FBI arrested him, if Child Services took her, she'd go into the system. Foster care. Strangers. She'd be alone. Lily, he said carefully, if something happens to me, if I have to go away for a little while, Mrs. Keene will take care of you. Okay? Her eyes went wide. What do you mean, go away? Just hypothetically. Are you in trouble? He wanted to lie. God, he wanted to lie. Maybe, but I'm fixing it. She stared at him. Then said, so quietly he almost didn't hear, don't leave me, Dad. His throat closed. I won't, I promise. But as he pulled back onto the road, he knew what he had to do. Blake had evidence. Logan needed better evidence. And there was only one place to get it. Blake's office. Tonight, even if it meant risking everything. Logan pulled out his phone. Called David. I need you to do something illegal. I'm listening, David said. Blake's office. Tonight, I need his computer. A pause. If I get caught, you won't. Because I'm coming with you? Henry grabbed Logan's arm. You can't. If they catch you, then I go down fighting. Logan met his eyes. You stop being the villain, Henry. Now I need to stop being the victim. They waited until 2 a.m. David had a key. His wife cleaned the executive offices. Logan had gloves, a flash drive, and a prayer. Blake's office was pristine, minimalist desk. Expensive art. A laptop sitting closed in the center like a throne. 5 minutes, David whispered. Security does rounds every 20. Logan opened the laptop. Password protected. Try Stanton, David said. Nothing. Try Blake 2024. Nothing. Logan's pulse hammered. 3 minutes left. Then he saw it, a post-it note under the desk mat. Ridgeway King. He typed it. The screen unlocked. You're kidding, David muttered. Logan navigated fast. Email. Sent folder. Searched. Loan. 3 results. All sent to the same offshore shell company. All with attachments, PDFs of loan documents, notary stamps, signatures. And in the metadata, created by Blake Stanton. Modified. November 14th, 2025. Got him, Logan breathed. He copied everything to the flash drive, cleared the search history, closed the laptop. They were halfway to the door when the lights came on. Blake stood in the doorway, smiling. Logan Hayes, breaking and entering. How disappointing. Behind him, 2 security guards. And a police officer. David bolted. Made it 3 steps before a guard tackled him. Logan just stood there. Flash drive in his pocket. Heart in his throat. You just destroyed your life, Blake said softly. And for what? A dying old man who doesn't care about you? He cares more than you ever will, Blake laughed. We'll see. Officer, arrest them both. The cop moved forward, cuffs out, and Logan made a choice. He threw the flash drive, not at Blake, at the window. It shattered, glass exploded. The drive sailed out into the night, disappearing into the darkness of the factory yard below. Blake's face twisted. Yeah, Logan said. I did. The cop cuffed him. Read him his rights. David, too. As they were let out, Logan looked back once. Blake stood at the broken window, staring down into the dark, searching for something he'd never find. Because Logan had thrown an empty flash drive, the real one was in his sock. The holding cell smelled like sweat and regret. Logan sat on the metal bench, head in his hands. David paced. My wife's gonna kill me, David muttered. I'm sorry. Don't be. Blake had it coming. A guard appeared. Hayes, you've got a visitor. Logan looked up. Please be a lawyer. Please be. It was Mrs. Donna Keene, Lily's hand in hers. Logan's heart shattered. Lily pressed against the bars, eyes red. Dad? Hey, kiddo. His voice cracked. I'm okay. They said you broke into someone's office. I did. Why? Logan knelt so they were eye level. Because sometimes doing the right thing looks like doing the wrong thing. And sometimes you have to decide which matters more, being safe or being good. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I want you to come home. I will. I promise. Donna leaned in, whispered. Henry's in the hospital. Heart attack. They don't think he'll make it through the night. Logan closed his eyes. Did you get the flash drive? Yeah. Gave it to a lawyer friend. He's reviewing it now. She squeezed his hand through the bars. You did it, Logan. You got him. Then why does it feel like I lost? Because the right thing always costs something. They released him 6 hours later. No charges yet. Blake had pulled the complaint, but the FBI investigation was still active. Logan was a person of interest in wire fraud, and Child Services had opened a case review on Lily's living situation. He was free, but barely. David got out an hour after, shaken but unbroken. Logan went straight to the hospital. Henry was in IQ, tubes, monitors, pale as paper, but awake. You're an idiot, Henry rasped when Logan walked in. Yeah, I learned from the best. Henry smiled faintly. Did you get it? Yeah. Good. He closed his eyes. I'm sorry for all of this. For putting you at risk. You didn't. I chose. Logan sat. That's what decent people do. We choose. Even when it costs everything. Especially then. Henry was quiet for a long moment. Then he reached into the drawer next to his bed, pulled out an envelope. I need you to do something for me, he said. Anything. Find my son. Caleb Whitaker. Last I heard, Cincinnati. Music teacher. Give him this, his voice broke, and tell him I'm sorry. Tell him I finally understand what mattered. Logan took the envelope. You should tell him yourself. I won't make it that long. Henry's breathing was labored. Friday's board meeting, you have to be there. Show them the evidence. Finish this. I will. Henry gripped his hand, weak, trembling. Thank you for stopping. Thank you for reminding me why Friday came. The boardroom at Ridgeway was packed. 10 board members, Blake Stanton at the head of the table, lawyers on both sides. Press in the back. Logan walked in wearing his only suit. David and Sophia beside him. Blake smiled. Mr. Hayes, brave of you to show up, considering the FBI wants to speak with you. They can wait, Logan said. He set a laptop on the table, opened it, pulled up the files from Blake's computer. These are emails sent from Blake Stanton's work account to a shell company in the Cayman Islands. They contain forged loan documents, fake notary stamps, and digital signatures copied from Henry Whitaker's archived files. Logan turned the screen toward the board. Every document is metadata stamped with Blake's name. Every transaction traced back to accounts he controls. The room went silent. Blake's lawyer stood. This evidence was obtained illegally. It's inadmissible. In court, maybe, Logan said. But this isn't court. This is a board review. And you're all fiduciaries, which means you have a legal obligation to investigate fraud. Even if the evidence came from a break-in, one of the board members, Catherine Rourke, 60 sharp, leaned forward. Is this real? Forensic accountants have verified it, Logan said. The FBI has copies. So does the Ohio Attorney General. Blake's face drained. You forged loans to justify layoffs. Planned to pocket the savings. When Henry tried to stop you, you framed him as senile and financially reckless. Logan's voice was steady, cold. You almost destroyed 40 families to pad your bonus. Catherine turned to Blake. Explain. Blake opened his mouth, closed it, looked at his lawyer. The lawyer said nothing. Motion to terminate Blake Stanton for cause, Catherine said. Effective immediately. All in favor? 10 hands went up. Blake stood, straightened his tie, smiled. You think this is over? I've got friends, connections. I'll have another job by Monday. And you? He looked at Logan. You'll still be a factory worker with a criminal record and a daughter in foster care. Logan didn't flinch. Maybe, but I'll still be able to look her in the eye. Blake walked out. The room exhaled. Catherine looked at Logan. Where's Henry? Hospital. He won't make it. She nodded slowly. Then we need to decide what happens next. I know what Henry wanted, Logan said. He wanted this place to belong to the people who built it, not boards. Not investors, workers. You're suggesting a co-op? I'm suggesting we prove a company can care about people and make money. Catherine leaned back. That's a beautiful idea, Mr. Hayes, but it's also financial suicide. Another board member, Richard Moss, 50s, banker type, cleared his throat. If we restructure as a worker cooperative, we void every existing investor agreement. That's $18 million in capital we'll have to return or face lawsuits. Our credit lines will collapse. Suppliers won't extend terms to an unproven model. He looked at Logan. You'll be bankrupt in 6 months. The room went quiet. Logan felt the weight of it. 15 families saved, 40 more at risk. Then we phase it, he said. 3 steps. First year, pilot program. 10% employee ownership. Profit sharing on a trial basis. We prove the model works without scaring investors. And if it doesn't work, Moss asked, then we revert. But if it does, year 2, we go to 30%. Year 3, full transition. Catherine frowned. That's a slow burn. Henry wanted immediate change. Henry wanted something that lasted, Logan said. Rushing it kills it. Building it right makes it permanent. Moss tapped his pen. Even phased, you'll need a guarantor. Someone willing to personally back the financial risk. Insurance against failure. He looked at Logan. You willing to do that? Logan's throat tightened. What does that mean? It means if the co-op fails, you're personally liable for outstanding debts. Your home, your savings, everything. Moss leaned forward. You'd be betting your daughter's future on this. The room watched him. Logan thought of Lily, of the apartment they could lose, of the 15 years he'd given this place, of Henry dying in a hospital bed, asking him to finish what he started. I'll do it, Logan said. But I want 2 conditions. Name them, Catherine said. First, I stay on as interim operations lead, but I take no salary increase, no bonus, no executive perks. I'm a worker. Same as everyone else, Moss nodded. Agreed. And second? The FBI and Child Services are investigating me because I helped Henry and broke into Blake's office. I need the board to publicly affirm that I acted in the company's interest. That I'm not a criminal, I'm a whistleblower. Catherine and Moss exchanged a look. That's a risk for us, Catherine said carefully. If the FBI doesn't agree, then you're covering for someone who broke the law, Logan finished. I know, but if you want me to guarantee this with my life, I need you to guarantee mine. A long silence. Then Catherine extended her hand. Deal. Logan shook it. Moss sighed. This is insane. Yeah, Logan said. But it's right. Henry Whitaker died that night. Quietly, Logan was there. So was Donna. So was Lily, who held his hand and told him about her drawing of the factory with the big sun over it. Henry smiled, squeezed her hand, and let go. Logan found Caleb Whitaker 2 weeks later. Cincinnati High School, music room, students practicing scales. Caleb at the piano, 48, graying, kind eyes. Caleb Whitaker? Caleb looked up. Yeah? I'm Logan Hayes. I knew your father. Caleb's expression shuddered. I don't have a father. You did. And he wanted you to have this. Logan handed him the envelope. Caleb stared at it like it might explode, then opened it. Inside, a single handwritten letter, and a photograph, young Caleb with his guitar, smiling. Caleb read, his face crumpled. Tears fell. The letter said, Caleb, I was wrong about everything. You were right to leave. I was cruel, selfish, blind. I spent 30 years building an empire and lost the only thing that mattered, you. I can't undo the past, but I used what I had left to protect people who reminded me of what I should have been. I'm sorry I failed you. I love you. I always did. Dad. Caleb folded the letter, pressed it to his chest, sobbed. Logan waited. When Caleb finally looked up, his eyes were red but clear. He's gone, isn't he? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Did he suffer? No, he was at peace. Caleb nodded. What happened to the factory? He left it to you. But the board approved a phased transition to a worker cooperative. You'd keep a minority stake, honor his legacy. But the workers build it. Caleb smiled through his tears. He'd like that. Yeah, he would. Then let's do it. 18 months later, Ridgeway Textile Works became one of the largest employee-owned manufacturing cooperatives in Ohio. A model, a symbol, proof that dignity and profit could coexist. Logan stood on the factory floor, watching the second-year profit-sharing checks get handed out. Sophia, David, Rebecca, Donna, 40. Families who'd kept their jobs, their homes, their hope. Henry's photograph hung in the lobby. Underneath, Henry Whitaker, founder, redeemed. Logan thought about that night. The storm, the stranger, the briefcase. You stopped when you didn't have to. Yeah, he did. And it cost him everything, and gave him everything back. He looked at Lily. She waved from the visitors' gallery, holding up a new drawing. The factory, the workers, her dad in the middle. He waved back and got to work. Friends, here's my question for you. Would you risk everything to do the right thing, even if no one would ever know? Drop your answer below. And if this story reminded you that decency still matters, share it. Someone needs to hear it today.